Hi, my name's Dexter, and I'm going to teach you how to play Bosa, a game for 2 to 5 players, ages 8 and up. I've already set up the game for 4 players. That means I've shuffled all 3 season decks and removed a number of them based on the number of players. For 4 players, I've removed 7 from each deck. We can just return these to the box. I've also dealt all 4 players 4 goal cards for the end of the game. These ones are extra, so I'll get rid of these. And I've given each player 1 random start card, which you can see is starting each of their townscapes here. These 2 are extra in a 4-player game, so I'll return them to the box. Each player should have a score token that matches the icon on their player board. Place that on the scoreboard. Each player should also have a resource tracker for fish, textiles, and pottery. Place these on the 1 spot of your resource tracker. These will slide up and down over the game to show how much you have at any given time. Take 3 coins from the coin tray. I have 3 right here. And make sure you have your 4 end of game goal cards. You can look at your own goals, and you don't have to share them with other players. At the end of the game, you'll choose 2 of them to score, but you won't score the other 2. You don't have to decide right now, so just keep them off to the left of your board. Finally, you'll have a starting building card, which begins your townscape in the upper left-hand corner. Make sure to leave some room to the right of your player board to build out your townscape. It'll be a 4x4 grid when you're done. The player who is most recently on an island takes the starting player token. They'll go first in the first of the 3 rounds. On every turn in Bosa, you're going to take 1 card from the marketplace and add it to your townscape, either to the right of another building or below another building, without leaving gaps, so I can't place it over here. After you add a building to your townscape, you're going to activate the actions of all buildings in the same row as the building you just chose, or the same column as the building you just chose. So on the first turn, I'm going to activate the row, because there's 2 in the row, my new building here. The actions are shown in the window. So this first action, I'm going to gain 1 fish. And for the second action, I'm going to spend 1 fish and score 4 points. If I were trying to add this card to my townscape, I couldn't put it here or here, because that would extend past the 4x4 grid that I'm making. I could put it here at the end of this row. I could put it here at the second position of this row, but I couldn't put it here or here because I would be skipping a spot. Finally, I couldn't put it here because I'd be skipping the spot right above it. You always have to build out from the upper left. After you decide where to place your card, you activate the row or column that card is in. So if I wanted to activate the row that this card was in, I would do this action and then this action. If I wanted to activate the column that this card was in, I would start at the top. So I would do this action, then this one, then this one. You are allowed to skip actions, but you can't take them out of order. The actions on the cards are shown on a glossary on the board to help you decipher what they mean. But there's also a glossary in the back of the rules to know what each one does. Turns continue in Bosa with each player taking a building from the market and adding it to their townscape, then replacing the building with the top card of the season deck. You go around in clockwise order, taking a building and replacing it, until a player takes a building and there's only 3 cards left in the market and there's no season deck. That signals the end of the round. Everyone should have gotten an even number of turns. At the end of the round, before moving on to the next round, players have a chance to buy bonus points with their money with patronage. Take a look at the chart on the scoreboard. Every player must buy as many points as they can according to this chart. So you can see that, for example, if I had 5 coins, I would have to spend 4 coins to score 6 points. But if I had 25 coins, I would have to spend 22 coins, but I would get to score 24 points. This is a lot of points. Once you've scored points for patronage, you can start the next round by giving the start player token to whoever currently has the least points. In this case, it's the seashell player. Here you go, seashell player. Then, take the 3 cards that were left from Season 1 and remove them from the game. Take the Season 2 deck, which should already have the right number of cards in it because you counted out at the start of the game, and make a new marketplace by putting 4 cards on the board. The cards in Season 2 are stronger than the cards in Season 1. And remember, you can always go to the end of the rulebook and look at the glossary to get a sense for what they do. Continue Season 2 just like Season 1. Once there's 3 cards left in the marketplace and no deck, that's the end. You score patronage again, and then do it one more time with the Season 3 deck. At the end of the game, all the players should have a colorful 4x4 grid of buildings in front of them. After paying patronage in Season 3, you can proceed to final scoring. There's only 2 more things to do. First, count up the total resources you have. I have 4 fish, 7 thread, and 3 pottery. Score 1 point for each of these final resources. 7 plus 3 plus 4, that's 14, so I'll score 14 points. If a player goes over 100 points, they can take one of these 100-point chips to remind themselves that they have 100 points, and start over again at the beginning. Okay, it's time to score those goal cards that you got at the beginning of the game. You were dealt 4, but you only get to score 2, so choose the 2 that score the most points for you, and reveal them to the other players, and tell them how good you did. There's a glossary in the back of the rules that tells you how each of these score. You can peek at this during the game if you need help. Generally, each card is going to give you bonus points for having a specific color in a row or column. After you've scored your 2 bonus cards, that's the end of the game. Whoever has the most points wins. Hope you had a fun, sunny time in Bosa.